Well, that was a complete failure.
Oh, come now. It wasn't that bad.
A council member almost choked to death on one of Mabel's cookies. And Jim from the hardware store turned his speech into a tirade against the government. All they did was prove why none of us should be here.
Then why didn't you speak up?
No one wants to hear from the jerk at the bookstore. They probably want my rent to increase just to get me out faster.
Well, you are a jerk, but you don't give yourself enough credit. You can be a compassionate, caring person when you want to. I've learned more about you in the last week than I have in the 15 years you've been here. Deep inside that rocky exterior, there's a kind soul trying to dig its way out.
Hey, are you guys interested in carrying my book of tasteful nudes of people in town?
Vincent, find me a chisel. Welcome to The Shelf Life, a sitcom about a small-town bookstore, the man who runs it, and the people who just won't leave him alone. The Shelf Life was filmed before a fake studio audience. These sketches aren't half bad, if a little disturbing. Not sure I ever wanted to see Jim from the hardware store in flagrante delicto. Mrs. Larson?
Yes?
Nothing.
What's that?
Huh? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
This envelope on the desk.
Oh, I didn't even see it there.
It just has your name on it. Did you see who dropped it off?
I don't think I've met anyone as fascinated with my mail as you are.
I'm a naturally curious person.
That's a funny way of saying nosy. It's from Caleb Sawyer. He felt bad about the council meeting last night, so he's extending everyone's original leases for another 30 days. Schmuck.
That's great. See, he's not so bad after all.
Oh, he is. He just wants to make us squirm. It's diabolical.
Now you have time to earn a little more money. Sarah and I were talking, and she knows a popular author who would love to come do a reading here at the shop. She can even help get the word out. And
No.
Do you even want to keep your store open, Mr. Charles? Why are you so stubborn?
I was doing just fine before.
Before is over. Things are changing all over town. It's not just the rent. Stores we never thought we'd see are popping up. They're replacing what made our little corner of the world so special. If you don't fight to survive, then this dream of yours is going to die.
Dreams. Everyone talks about this being my dream. I don't dream anymore. I stopped dreaming 15 years ago.
You are impossible. I forgot I came in here to buy something.
Ah, there it is. Mind if I have a look?
Didn't you also get one?
Sadly, no. I wasn't so lucky.
I wouldn't exactly call myself lucky. He's dropped a pretty terrible burden in my lap.
Burden? The way I see it, he's left you a gift.
I'm going to get evicted if I don't do something about this.
Psh, he doesn't have the authority. The worst he can do is not come back. And you're used to that by now, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
The book. Have you gone through it? Did he happen to sketch Mrs. Larson? How are you doing on such a lovely day?
Spill it, gentlemen. What book?
I'd rather not. It's stupid, and I'm not going to sell it.
Show me.
Fiddler's Hollow, raw and uncensored?
This guy came in last night after we got back from the meeting and left a copy with me. Apparently, he's drawn a bunch of people from town in the nude, or at least how he imagines them to look that way.
Am I in it?
I don't...
Mr. Charles.
Really, you shouldn't...
Mr. Charles.
I'm telling you, it's...
Mr. Charles!
Page 46.
Oh my. Is he serious? What gives him the right to... I mean, well, this is more tasteful than I thought it would be.
He drew me with abs. I've never even seen real abs before.
Am I in there?
Page 15.
Mr. Hughes? Mr. Hughes.
I am a god.
No. This is wrong. Mm-mm.
Yes, wrong. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely wrong.
So,
You can each have your pages,
thank you.
Smashing.
and I'll let him know that not only will I not be carrying his book, but he should probably prepare for a lawsuit if he plans on selling it on his own.
So, what was the other thing you were talking about?
Caleb Sawyer is postponing the rent increase for another month.
That's terrific. Do you have any idea how to raise the money?
I was just telling him.
No, I'll have to come up with something.
Oh, come on, Mr. Charles, give it a chance. One reading isn't going to kill you, and you'll have help.
It's not about the help, it's not about the time or the money or any of that.
You can't let this place die, Edwin.
Because it's my dream.
Your store means more to this town than you know. You've kept my daughter off the streets.
Yeah, the roving gangs of baristas and vinyl enthusiasts have really turned this place into a hellhole, haven't they?
You told me once that Blue Cat Books was never your dream. Then whose was it?
This store was the only thing my wife talked about before she died. When we thought she was going to beat the cancer, we made plans to open up. This would be the start of a new chapter in her life. I contacted a realtor and called distributors and got everything in place. Then she took a turn for the worst. Within weeks she was gone, and all I had was her dying wish waiting for a signature.
Oh, Mr. Charles.
She was a poet. I still have notebooks of hers filled with poems she wrote in college when we were dating. After Josh was born and she started treatment, she stopped writing, but she was always reading. She loved Plath the most.
And that's why the poetry section is kept so well.
Just steamroll all over my moment.
Now you have to fight for it, Mr. Charles. For her.
She's gone. It's like you said, things are changing. I need to change too. It's time I moved on.
You know, the funny thing about dreams is that they're contagious. The more you share them, the more others do too. We love your store. Everyone in town does, even if they don't like you very much. Fiddler's Hollow needs Blue Cat Books just as much as Blue Cat Books needs Fiddler's Hollow.
Do you remember the blackout of 2010? We both stayed open and gave people a safe place to relax. We lit candles and set up tables for people to read and play board games while they drank hot chocolate.
I made a killing that night.
You act all distant and aloof, but I know you have a good heart.
That's because of Annie.
I don't think I've ever heard you say her name before.
Yes, well, it's not fun opening old wounds. But you might be right. The store is how I've kept her memory alive, and I've taken it for granted. I don't know what I'd do if the doors closed for good.
I'm calling Sarah right now. We're gonna get that author in here to do a reading and a signing.
I'll provide the cookies and the coffee.
Sarah can live tube or whatever to her channel. It's free advertising.
I can't even be mad. Thank you, both of you, for all your help.
But you have to get that leak in the back fixed as soon as possible. I can hear dripping from here. I think it's getting worse.
Vincent, fetch me a wrench. This has gone on long enough.
Mate, do you even know how to fix a leaky pipe?
Oh, it's not for the pipe. I'm going to incentivize Caleb to call the damn plumber. Thanks for listening to The Shelf Life, written, produced, and directed by Harry Marks. Edwin Charles was played by Harry Marks. The customer was played by Johnny Gamber. Vincent Hughes was played by Stuart Lennon, and Mrs. Larson was played by Sarah Blair. For more information about the show, visit shelflifesit.com or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at shelflifesitcom. Be sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, and stay tuned next week for the further misadventures of one Edwin Charles, proprietor of Blue Cat Books, only on The Shelf Life.